Around 6:45 p.m., January 31st, 2022, a luminous and mysterious spiral in the night sky was captured across the central U.S. People claimed to witness it in Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, and even in southeastern Minnesota. Lots of people posted their awesome pictures on Twitter and Facebook. Twitter user, The Liberal Loudmouth, said, "The spiral flew, very slowly, across the sky in Oklahoma. There are no clouds, and the spirals followed it and swirled. It was gorgeous." Braxton Banks posted his video seizing the slow moving of the spiral. "Here, I speed it up for you. If you want to feel how slow it is, you may check Banks' YouTube." When people wondered whether it was a UFO, an alien sighting, or a dimension portal, many media also rushed to report the stunning object. According to 2 News Oklahoma, it was not a UFO, but it was just a SpaceX rocket spotted. 2 News chief meteorologist Mike Collier said the spiral was due to the rocket's second-stage fuel release in the skies. Per the U.S. Sun, another meteorologist Clint Boone also agreed that it was formed when Stage 2 vented the excess fuel after a Falcon 9 rocket drops off its payload in space. Per KY3, Dr. Greg Ojekangas, a retired Drury University professor who worked 25 years for NASA, explained and also concluded, the SpaceX rocket's second stage remained in orbit for a while and eventually burned up in the atmosphere. According to the Futurism website, Fox 23 meteorologist Laura Mock tweeted that she's pretty sure the bizarre formation over Tulsa and Oklahoma City's night skies was none other than a SpaceX Falcon 9. She later told the TV station that, when she cross-checked the SpaceX live stream, she concluded that this rocket would have flown very close to Oklahoma. Every scientist expressed their unanimous opinions. Nevertheless, are the scientists right? Let's first check SpaceX's launch on January 31st, 2022. We will closely look at its live stream trajectory. Before that, it's necessary for us to briefly understand how compositions of a SpaceX Falcon 9s work. You may check our last video on New Zealand spiral. On Monday, January 31st, 2022 at 6:11 p.m. East Time, or 23:11 Universal Time Coordinated, Falcon 9 launched the Cosmos skimmed second-generation FM-2 mission to low Earth orbit from the Space Launch Complex in Florida. From the live stream video, we can see after the rocket lifted off, it directly headed toward Antarctica, then circled back to Northern Hemisphere toward the Indian Ocean sky to deploy the satellite to low Earth orbit. It did not touch the sky of the central USA after it departed from Florida. We can tell it took 1 hour for Falcon 9 to deploy the Italian satellite to low Earth orbit above the Indian Ocean. If we convert all the time to UTC, it will be easier for us to see the timeline. You may ask what will happen to the second stage after separation. Please check our video on the New Zealand spiral as well. If the spiral was indeed related to the SpaceX rocket, from the detailed trajectory, it means the second stage drifted from the low Earth orbit above the Indian Ocean to the central USA atmosphere within only around 34 minutes to present the gorgeous spiral to central USA residents. 34 minutes? It took 60 minutes for Falcon 9 to fly from Florida to the low Earth orbit over the Indian Ocean with 2-stage boosters. In the last video, we knew it took about 60 minutes for Stage 2 to fall back into the atmosphere over New Zealand from the low Earth orbit over central USA, if the spiral is really related to SpaceX's upper stage. After all, I am not a space or rocket scientist. There may be lots of things to consider together. What do you think? Please leave your comments below. Albert Einstein said, "The important thing is never to stop questioning." I still ask the same question. Did humans once record any similar spirals in the sky before we invented rockets or missiles? This spiral is one of Cub Creek petroglyphs in the Dinosaur National Monument located in Utah, USA. It was created by the Fremont people and can be dated back to nearly 1,000 years ago. Do you think it looks like the pattern of the Oklahoma or Missouri spiral on the flip side? This image stayed with other more than 21,000 petroglyphs located in Three Rivers Petroglyph Site, New Mexico, USA. It can be dated back to between about 400 and 1450 AD. Did the ancient Native Americans, at different locations, try to convey the same sighting in a similar pattern, but in different styles? Please notice this center part of Fermat's spiral or parabolic spiral image. It was created on a rock wall in McKee Springs 800 to 1,000 years ago, also at Dinosaur National Monument located in Utah, USA. According to Science Alert, a mysterious glowing swirled over Hawaii. Look at the pattern. Is it exactly the same as the spiral carved on the rock wall located in Utah, USA? The 8.2-meter or 320-inch Subaru telescope captured a video of the flying spiral. The Subaru telescope of the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan stands at the Mauna Kea Observatory in Hawaii. The telescope provides 24/7 live streaming of the night sky via a YouTube channel of Shooting Star Streaming. The same. All the scientists directly claimed it was a dying SpaceX rocket. I went to the SpaceX launch website. I found it. It was supposed to be launched on April 15th, but delayed to the 17th. The video only provides the information until the first stage landing. Per Science Alert, SpaceX launched the spy satellite for the U.S. National Reconnaissance Office. The Falcon 9 rocket was capped by a NROL-85 spacecraft, which lifted off at 9:13 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or 13:13 Universal Time Coordinated, from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. Its activity and payload of the rocket were classified, so we cannot see the trajectory beyond its first stage separation. But if we convert all the time to UTC, the spiral appeared around 2 hours after the SpaceX rocket lifted off. As we noticed that the SpaceX launch site recorded 196 launches as of December 24, 2022 since August 2019. There are more than 50 times launches only in 2022. How many spirals were caught in the sky in 2022? 3 times, to my knowledge. Did you see any more spirals flying in the sky in 2022? Please comment below. If we look at the Hawaii spiral closely, the spiral presented a full Big Fermat or parabolic spiral. It is the famous Norwegian spiral anomaly witnessed on December 9, 2009. The spiral appeared to evolve into a full and perfect Fermat spiral and an Archimedean spiral then, and it dissipated from the center like a black hole absorbing everything. And also, this Fermat spiral was exposed by a China Meteorological Observatory in Haiya City, Heilongjiang Province, China, as a top-secret UFO video recorded back on August 25, 1988. We will talk more about the 2 spirals in detail and other spirals of different patterns in the sky in our next video. Please stay tuned. You may see it looks like one of the spirals on the entrance stone to Newgrange, a prehistoric monument in County Meath in Ireland. It is an exceptionally grand passage tomb built during the Neolithic period, around 3200 BC, even older than Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids. Marina Ricci also found a Fermat spiral carved deep in the rock thousands of years ago in Chacal, Mexico. It was interpreted as a universal symbol always flowing outward and inward, carrying meaning from the immensity of the galaxy to the strands of life-giving DNA. You will find it also looks like this massive and mysterious geoglyph or Nazca line, located in Peru, South America. And this. Why did ancient people depict similar images on separate continents? They must have seen similar spirals. Where did they see them? In the sky? Who created the spirals? With these questions, let's continue to explore, starting right from the Nazca Lines. They are among a group of geoglyphs and straight lines made in the soil of the Nazca Desert in southern Peru. They can be dated back to between 500 BC and 500 AD. Most of the Nazca Lines form shapes that are only visible or best seen from the sky at around 500 m or 1,600 feet, from a plane or a satellite, though there are some visible from the surrounding foothills and other high places. Scholars differ in interpreting the purpose of the huge artistic displays. Some scholars have hypothesized that the figures served ceremonial or religious purposes, or worked as astronomical calendars. Now some experts theorized that some of the geometric shapes marked underground water. Really? What about the massive displays on hillsides? What about the runway-like flat mountaintops, interspersed among the huge artistic displays and straight lines? Scholars and experts just hypothesized and theorized. They are not absolutely sure. Why did they cost hard labor in very harsh desert conditions? All the lines created are isolated in location and can't even be seen and fully appreciated from the ground. During ancient times, without airplanes or other air devices, who could see the Nazca Lines from above? When it comes to who, we will not ignore the famous Nazca Line, giant, with large, round eyes and an upraised hand. It is called Owlman, also known as astronaut. It looks like waving to the sky and saying, "Hey, come! Come! Here we are! We are here!" Who is he trying to wave at? With the astronaut here, do you think it makes sense that the up to 30-mile-long straight lines, 1,200 feet wide artistic figures, and 160,000 square yard trapezoids interspersed across the desert served as a colossal and complex ancient airport environment, or a landing site for an ancient civilization or ancient aliens? Regarding Nazca Fermas spirals, there are trapezoid runways right beside them. Were the runways paved for the gods like these? Or figures like these? Were the runways built for the aircraft depicted on the more than 10,000-year pictoglyph in Kunlun Mountains, Xinjiang, China? Or for the devices carved in the Temple of Seti I at Abydos before 1279 BC? If we look closely at the Nazca Line astronaut, we may see the antennae on its head. Do you think the head mask or the face depiction looks the same as Peru Nazca's astronaut? The petroglyph is from Lower Butler Wash Ruins, Utah, USA. What about another type of astronaut? This turkey panel, located in 9 Mile Canyon, Utah, tells us more details about the oversized head with antennae. Both Utah petroglyphs date back to around 1,500 years ago or even earlier. The astronauts are from a Valcamonica prehistoric petroglyph, located in northern Italy, dating back to 1000 BC. Similar glowing helmets appeared in an ancient petroglyph at Ginkgo Petrified Forest, Washington State, USA, in an abstract style. And this humanoid with big hands and big feet from the Colorado Plateau, USA, was carved out more than 700 years ago. Valcamonica is home to the first Italian site, registered on the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization World Heritage List in 1979. It contains one of the largest collections of prehistoric petroglyphs in the world. Here, we can also discover different types of spirals. In the Sahara region, Africa, according to the Ancient Connection website, we also see similar figures with round heads and big eyes with antennae, or without antennae, near the Tenera Desert. Tenera literally means, where there is nothing. However, we found enigmatic figures with tight costumes and astronaut-like helmets. the figures are represented much bigger than the other figures in the same scene. The Air Mountain petroglyphs can be traced back to 2,000 years ago, or even older. More Saudi Arabia petroglyphs were found in the Burhima region, dating at least back to 1000 BC. In Africa, we cannot overlook the Tassili Ajur National Park, a vast desert plateau, one of the richest rock art areas on Earth, situated in the southeast of Algeria. Its bewildering cave paintings also depicted round-headed astronauts with modern-like sophisticated costumes, humanoid-like beings with antennae, a floating being with antennae, and mysterious spirals approximately 10,000 years ago. If you look closely, the hen inside the helmet has antennae as well. 10,000 years ago? The paintings are amazing. They looked like modern art to me. After analyzing the numerous cave paintings, many researchers had to conclude extraterrestrial beings regularly visited our Earth in the distant past regularly and made contact with the ancient inhabitants of the region. Otherwise, it is easy to believe that time travel is a fact. What do you think? According to the Times of India, Chhattisgarh State Department of Archaeology and Culture found 10,000-year-old rock paintings depicting aliens and UFOs in tribal Bhatar region. Also, in India, we can see a prehistory cave painting depicting a UFO-like circular figure at Anak Kindi, India. The painting looks like it illustrates something inside the aircraft. Are they two astronauts or just triangles and circles? You decided, as it is a fading painting, not clear. The figure is hovering above animals and people. The cave painting dates back 3,000 to 5,000 years. As we often see frequent reports of witnessing glowing UFOs in the sky worldwide, we also find circular images looking like UFOs from prehistoric rock art worldwide. The illuminating figures surrounding with full of lights were discovered in Little Black Mountain, dating back to 6,000 years. The bewildering petroglyphs were created in Luncrew, Ireland, dating to 5,300 years. This 2,000-year-old rock art showed in Yushu, Qinghai, China. The Nero rock paintings date to before 1250 AD, located in eastern Uganda. Also, the painted and engraved glowing concentric circle paintings and spirals in Kenya date back more than 1,000 years. In the last video, we also mentioned the circular UFO-like shapes in Three Rivers petroglyphs, New Mexico, USA, dating back to about 400 and 1400 AD. The list of UFO-like petroglyphs can go on, and I cannot exhaust all in a time-limited video. What message were the similar images trying to convey? Did the historical rock art prove that UFOs visited and aliens have been observing our planet for a long time? Did similar types of spirals, repeatedly depicted in ancient rock art worldwide, appear in the sky due to the various types of UFOs? Has ancient rock art already told us the answer? Let's get back to the rock art about humanoid figures with antennae or horns. Similar figures appeared on different continents. I will show you more. The 1-meter broad, mysterious face, with round eyes and glowing headdress, was engraved on a rock in Heilong Mountain, Ningxia, China. Also, there are similar heads with antennae here. We can also discover more large, round-eye figures with antennae in Utah, USA, in different Barrier Canyon-style pictographs located in Sago Canyon in the Utah desert. The best-preserved pictographs can be dated back to around 2000 BC. Another one is in Swelter Shelter, Dinosaur National Monument, dating back to about 1,000 years ago. And more in McConkey Ranch. And this is from Newspaper Rock, near Moab, Utah, created about 1,500 years ago. We can see more human-like figures with antennae, 2 or 3 antennae, on their oversized heads in the key spring. We can tell the antennae can move in different directions or shapes, unlike decorative feathers on Indian heads. There are different humanoid figures depicted in ancient rock art. We may talk about them in more detail in our future video. Did they come to the Earth with glowing circular devices and bring various spirals in the sky across the Earth? Is that why similar spirals and concentric circular shapes are popular motifs worldwide? Are they extraterrestrial beings with antennae that the Nazca astronaut in Peru was waiting for? Spirals are a popular motif in ancient petroglyphs worldwide, and they have been found in many different cultures and time periods. The ancients did not invent spacecraft or missiles at all. However, they depicted the spiral patterns we see in the sky nowadays. Why? Do these around 1,000-year-old petroglyphs try to tell us the answer? We tell you that the ones with antennae or horns brought the luminous spiral in the skies. Are the extraterrestrial beings here on the Earth with spirals appearing in the sky? Are scientists wrong? What is your answer? I hope scientists can provide more detailed studies. For example, the simulation of how the upper stage of a rocket can shape specific spiral patterns under what circumstances. Otherwise, we, human beings, may have ignored an important phenomenon that has existed for thousands of years, and that is the door to a universe secret we have been seeking. We will talk more about the Archimedean or linear spiral shown in the sky. That is the most popular spiral pattern rock art all over the world. Please subscribe, and you will not miss it. We are now in a new era, with rich information resources from ancient to modern times, east and west, on hand. We are able to connect the dots of information spreading on separate continents at distant historical moments. One of our video's purposes is to provoke rethinking and exploring the unknown. Please support us, subscribe, like, share, and comment. See you next time. Peace.
You